What are the top 3 to 5 lessons you guys learned while you were in Davos last week, and how do you think it will have an impact on the economy this year?
Yeah, for sure. Davos, Switzerland. Shout out to our CLF family, Forbes, Dre. Well, it was a lot of AI talk. Definitely heavy AI. That was like the number one conversation
Everywhere
throughout the course of the week, not surprisingly. And a few takeaways, said it on a few panels. And one kid, he just dropped out of Harvard, and he started a company for companionship, AI companionship. And he was saying that, everybody's not privy to the same friend privilege. I forgot how he worded it, but everybody doesn't have friends, pretty much. So his company that he started is AI companionship company, where you'll have friends, artificial intelligence friends, and you can talk to them and you can share moments with them and just everything that you would do with an actual human friend. So I just thought that was different as far as, moving into this world of actually humans interacting with AI, and not just a workforce situation, but also from a emotional standpoint situation is interesting. Somebody else was talking about everybody at some point is going to have an artificial intelligence assistant, AI assistant, which we've heard that before. So that was interesting. So, I just feel that AI obviously is taking over, has taken over. It's only going to get bigger and bigger. And everybody was talking about different forms of AI, from environmental AI to companionship AI to business AI. But AI was the leading takeaway for sure. And we also got a privilege to hear a few presidents from Africa, the president of Ghana and the president of Rwanda speak. So that was interesting to hear the perspective from the African side. They were talking about the entertainment industry and the creator industry in Africa, because Global Citizens is coming to Ghana this year. So they were talking about that from that perspective. But once again, everybody's talking about investing in Africa. Africa is the last frontier. So it was those are a few takeaways.
Yeah, I think it was prevalent. We everywhere you walked around, there was an activation. AI was at the front of it. But it was interesting to hear the leading scientists in the space, and you had a lot of people from MIT. I mean, we sat through, I think, 20 panels and were just extremely interested in what was happening when you talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which means you really don't need human prompting. It really it kind of goes into what you were saying with the company. Soul was the name of the company, where you have companionship and it doesn't really need human interaction. It kind of starts to adapt for itself. And the debate over that and whether it's going to be positive, and you had some of the leading scientists saying like positive or not, it's going to be here. And you had some people saying we should be kind of fearful of it. And so to hear some of the brightest minds in the space kind of have that debate live in front of us was incredible. But also looking at the innovation. All right, we went to the Saudi house and we kind of put it up in our stories on Instagram. With Nome, the city that's going to be in Saudi, and to look at the innovation and to look at the technology and to look at how fast it's happening. Because sometimes you look at something and you think, all right, that's going to be like 50 years from now, they'll probably get this done. And when I looked at Tap Shadi, I was like, yeah, this has expected to be done in 2030. I'm like, that's 6 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, think about the conversations that we're having in our community, and think about, and if you get a chance, go look up Nome. It actually has an Instagram page. They're building 7 to 9 different civilizations in Saudi. And so the level of technology that's going to take, the level of opportunity and, just awareness of how you can maximize land and resources is incredible. So that was incredible. And then I said this to Shadi personally, but in private, I'm saying in public, the power of integrity. Because we had plenty of conversations, and I watched him all the time, but I watched him in the realest of settings. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I'll be honest, because he knocks me sometimes like, yo, you're just like a nice guy, and like you're like politically correct, and like he's sometimes going anti that, but sometimes it's needed. One day we'll tell a story on the actual conversation, but I watched him stand his ground on his beliefs, and his integrity was at the highest form. And in that setting, it only can be respected.
Yeah.
And I told him, after we finished the conversation, I gave him a fist bump. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm proud of you. That was tough. So having integrity in all rooms, no matter the financial amount of the people that you're having the conversations with, or the political power that those people have, is important. And so I wanted to tell you publicly how proud of you I was, because I did tell you privately, but that was dope. Having integrity.
Bro, shot it in Switzerland.
Oh, not yo, bro. I look because I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure, and then I was like, "Oh, he's going for it." Ah, yes, he spoke for us. And I want to be careful because when I say he spoke for us, yes, he spoke for us, right? Earn your leisure. When I'm saying he spoke for us, I'm talking about our entire community. Just know that he was speaking for us in these conversations, and so I was proud of him in that moment. So I just want to tell you that again.
Appreciate it.
You got into the Illuminati and stood up to the You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy. That's different. Sam Altman, let me tell you something. Hold on now.
You know what? I just want to add one last thing. And somebody actually made me think. I didn't think of this, but we did see Robert Smith, and we did see some people in the world of tech and CEOs, and they were saying to us, like, you're here. Everybody that's in Davos during that time period is there for a reason. But think how respected and how far you've come, and how much of an impact that you're having, that you can walk up to these CEOs and they recognize you for what you've done. That's powerful. And so when you can sit in a forum and listen to Sam Altman, who's changed the world, right? Like, his technology has changed the world. Him and OpenAI and all the engineers, they've changed the world. To see some of these political leaders that are respected and some that, may not be as respected, but to be in the same room and have these conversations, it's like, look, I know sometimes people get lost in the conversation of, oh my gosh, what are they doing there? Well, we're there representing you. I don't want that to go. We're there representing you. Yeah, we're listening to the conversations, and we're trying to tell y'all and try to give you the feedback of, here's what's headed. Let's figure out how we can play a role in this. And so I don't want that to get lost on people. So, like, yes, we represent you. And we do this because, number one, we want to find out the information, and we want to know what the world leaders in the world of in politics and finance and tech, what they're saying, what their ambitions are, what their vision is, so we can figure out how we as a community can be part of it.
For sure.
You literally have to be in a room with market makers in order to know what the market is going to do. So I definitely want to commend you. And Rashad, whoever you went off on.
No. It's just, I think.
Look, course correction.
Somebody said, integrity is what you do when people aren't looking. And, it's not even for, like, it's just, you just got to be who you are and stand on who you are. And, like, it's some things, it's just, no matter who you're talking to, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you got to, what you believe in, you can't compromise your beliefs. And I think people ultimately respect that, because if you're willing to just compromise to anybody that you're speaking to, then, people will notice that, and they'll kind of say, okay, this guy's kind of wishy-washy. But, I just feel like, a lot of people might not fully understand, the importance of Davos. And it's where the most powerful people in the world come every year, and they talk about a variety of different things. And, I feel like representation is the only option. Like, being there, like it's like conversation still going to take place whether we're there or not. So why would you not want us there? I mean, at the very least, we'll be able to have some level of insight on what's going on, and talk to people and hear what's happening, and that's only going to benefit everybody. Yeah, for sure. And it's like, people like, well, this is where Illuminati meets. Well, there's always going to be negative forces. If that's the case, it's like, you go to public school, right? And it's like people smoking weed in the bathroom. Now you have a decision to make whether you're going to partake in that or not. But that's where you come in with integrity and just be who you are. So you could be who you are in front of any level of influence that determines, who you are as a person. So I think a lot of times I think it comes back to just not having a strong belief in ourselves. And we think we always just think that we're not. Deep down, it's an inferiority complex. And it's like, oh no, we shouldn't be there because that's what, well, it's like, all right, well, why not? That's exactly where you should be. If hypothetically speaking, this is where all of the world's powerful people come and they make decisions and that's exactly where you should be. But I think what I noticed on internet is that it's a trend. Even we're talking about Africa, when people was like, the Africans, they don't like African Americans, stuff like that, or black people from America. People that have never been to a place make commentary, and they're influencing people, and they've never been to a place. So you have somebody that's never been somewhere that's adding commentary, and then somebody that's listening to somebody that's never been somewhere, and then now there. So it's like 3 degrees of separation, but no degree of actual information. So it's like it's very hard to actually have a real informed decision or a real informed opinion if you've never actually been. How can you speak intelligently about something if you have no firsthand information on it? It's difficult. So I just think that we just have to be a little bit more educated and a little bit more savvy. And it's like, we're a financial company, so why would we not be where the financial heavyweights are at? That's like saying like CNBC is not going to be there, or Wall Street Journal is going to be there. We're not like endorsing an event. We're not, but we're going to be there and run into some powerful people. We ran into Robert Smith 2 times in a row. What's the odds of that happening, right? This is something that only happens in that type of environment where you can literally just have an impromptu meeting with the wealthiest black person in American history. That's because you have to put yourself in environments where those type of people are and those type of conversations are having place. So, I just think that it's important. And, I think that we do a very good job of diversifying our environments. We went from Ghana to Davos to HBCU to NBA All-Star, because everywhere is important. Everywhere you gotta be everywhere. You gotta talk to every single person. And that's how business is done at the highest level. And the last thing I'll say about this is just the relationships. It's like going back to InvestFest again. And another thing, went to the Forbes party and saw Will.i.am give a concert, and saw Gig, shout out to Gigs, and saw Cool and Dre. So this idea that entertainment is only, you just misrepresenting business with uneducated people and do events, and you have entertainers and rappers. Well, we're at Davos, and they have rappers entertaining people. So entertainment and the leisure part is actually where a lot of business gets done. That's actually a major part of it. As far as the psychology of it, a lot of this stuff happens at nighttime when it's over, when people are drinking at the bar. So, once again, it's just a misinformed viewpoint that's not actually doesn't really have any relevance, because, at the highest level of business, this is actually what's happening.